Welcome back to the Purple Mic, guys. Oh my gosh, been so long, and I'm so excited. I have my co-host, my hitters, Tony and Lashonna. Welcome back. How are you guys feeling tonight?
I just got out the shower. I left that Diddy party. I'm good.
I'm okay. Today's been an eventful day, but I'm glad to be back. I'm glad we're recording, and
Yes.
I'm just like, yay! I get to hang out with my Cali crew that's in Cali.
That's
I'm
it.
in Atlanta.
I have moved to California. We are officially, me and Tony both in California. So we are 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific here. And Lashonna is on the East Coast, of course, Atlanta, Georgia. 9 o'clock.
At 9:04 to be exact.
She's like, we need to be accountable tonight. Get used to this thing. Tony, how are you?
I'm doing just fine. How are you ladies doing?
Oh my
Wonderful.
God. Just glad to be back. Miss my TPM fam, miss our audience. And so much has happened. Tonight we are going to catch up, and we're also going to talk about all things happening. I'm just elated right now. Heart is tremendously full. I am going to start with the ladies first. We're going to catch up with our mates and Lashonna. Fill us in, girlfriend. What's been going on?
Oh, okay. So since the last time you guys have seen me, I have gotten married. We've made it 1 year, August the 24th, 2024 is when we got married. Well, 2023 is when we got married, but we've made it 1 year this year.
Yes.
And then we just bought a new house. So that's all the good stuff. And my son graduated high school, and he's going off to college in January. My daughter moved back home, and she's in college too. And we got a dog.
You guys got a dog?
Yeah,
what kind of dog did you get?
She is a pit bull mixed with bully.
Oh my God.
Okay,
so you have a whole family now.
Yeah, she's so cute, and her name is London, and she has this like beautiful brown fur. She's so mannerable, so sweet, and like she'll sit when you tell her to sit, stop, lay, all of that good stuff. She is like the best dog.
Totally love that name.
And of course, my dad is still with me. Nothing has changed.
So overall, how are you feeling like after 1 year of marriage? Has it like really taken like a lot of time to adjust to the newness of it all? How do you feel?
Okay. So the day after my husband and I got married, which we got married on a Thursday, and it was like Friday, and we were off, but we were sitting outside at our townhouse at the time, and we were sitting outside on the back porch, and we were talking. And the crazy part was that we were like, "Man, this feels so different now." Like it was like a transition from, okay, we're not just fiance, it's you're married, and it's like now you're accountable to someone, and you are, you have to make sure that person is like okay and good, and checking and talking and communicating and agreeing to disagree. I was just like, and you gonna be here all day?
Right. You gonna be here all day. Exactly.
And like in this room with me and my dad.
I love
it
it.
took me a minute to adjust because I had been by myself for so long, and I've only had two. Yeah, he's my second. Two living boyfriends, and at the time, and both of them were fiance. So my husband that's now live with me was my fiance, and the one I had before live with me was my fiance. So I've only had two guys live with me out of my whole, X amount of years on earth.
X amount of years. Like we're not covering that part. Oh, right. Okay. So this is like the second time for you, just in general.
Yeah. Usually I'm by myself. My room, my bathroom, me and my little lonesome in my room. So yeah. So him invading my space, and that's how I felt like it's my space.
Exactly. Well, it is because it's all you know.
Yeah. I was like, it took me a minute to adjust. Like it literally took me a minute to adjust, and I was like,
and it's crazy that you went from like almost being an empty nester to not quite, because it's like one of your babies is back, and then you have a dog who needs,
Yep.
walks and time and attention. So
Yeah.
so
And then we have my dad who needs time and attention.
that part. So are you in like a happier place?
Um, honestly, I'm happy. I'm so ecstatic, so happy. I'm not gonna say like a happier place because I'm such a happy-go-lucky person.
Yeah.
But I'm loving this part of my life where it's transitioned to and where we are. Um, and even like just kind of, just getting to know him all over again because again, we've only been back together for a total of 2 years, 3 years, but
Oh,
we've
wow.
been married for one. So
That is
it's just
exciting.
like, yeah, so it was just like a whole thing of us getting to know each other all over again. And he was just like, I need a domesticated woman. And I'm like, ooh,
Yeah, right.
wrong line.
What does that look like for you while we're on that subject of domesticated woman? What does that look like for you? Because I know on the show we've talked a lot about gender roles.
Right. So when I asked him does he expect of me as his wife, he
Mhm.
was like, I want somebody to like, cook, clean. I was like, hmm, it doesn't compute. What you mean? because, because I have a schedule, and when you're a single parent, you have a schedule that you keep
Right.
to. Sunday, I
You even
cook enough
said,
for Sunday.
yeah,
Right.
you even said on the episode where you want the exchange of
Yeah.
responsibilities. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he does, like I love washing clothes. He doesn't like washing clothes, but he likes to separate them. I don't like separating clothes. You separate the clothes, I will wash them and fold them and put them away. I find joy in doing that.
Look at Tony's
Like,
face while you say that.
like
Where
but
have you
I
been all
also
my
had
life?
to learn that. You said what?
Where have you been all my life?
Like I don't like separating clothes. So it because it's a tedious task to me. To me, I'm like, I just need to get to the washing of the clothes. Let me just
Yeah. No, I'm totally with you on that. Like,
so but yeah, like so I cook. I mean, I've always cooked, so he knows that I cook. He helps clean up around the house, he helps cook. He and I have an OCD husband. Like in his mind, everything has a place and every place has a thing. And if it's not there, it's like, why is this out of place? He'll come home and start moving and clean. I'm like, baby, you just got off work. Go sit down.
do you
But
feel
this
like
is,
we'll be able to have him on the show so that we can actually get to meet the both of you
yeah,
and talk about marriage and the dynamic of marriage?
yeah,
Without
most
being
definitely.
personal, but of course, just being able to have your take on marriage.
Oh, yeah, yeah. He'll
Yeah.
like it. I mean, and of course, we went to premarital counseling for like, a year before we got married. And it was all of like, oh, okay, that's what so we learned a lot about
That's
one another, and we do like check-ins like once a month just so we can kind of figure out like, what's your bandwidth, what's going on, how are you feeling, what am I not doing, do you not agree with, what do you feel like I could be doing better as your wife or as your husband, do you feel neglected, do you need anything from me, so we do
that.
check-ins and we
And a
try
lot
and
of
make sure
yeah, a
yeah.
lot of times people have asked, this was a common question. Why are all the panelists single? Is anybody on the show married? And how are you guys eligible to give advice? And it's like, okay, well, at the same time, we are talking about love and our experiences in dating and
Yeah.
relationship. It's not to say that 30, 40 years of experience doesn't count. But the fact that we have married panelists on the show now, don't ask questions, okay? Because now we do. Lashonna,
Right.
we're
Don't
so
ask
grateful to
me.
have you for rocking out. You've
Aw.
made this so amazing, and just to have your participation, your co-production, your involvement, it's amazing. So thank you for everything you bring to this
You're
platform.
welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad to be back.
Absolutely. And the king himself, Tony.
No, 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 no.
Nobody's skipping
Don't
over
you
you.
don't you come to me. We go to you.
No, we're not.
All the changes
Well,
you had.
you guys know I don't talk on this show. I ask the question.
You yes, no, 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 ma'am.
Not no more. It's your turn.
You
So,
your
what
turn.
do
Let's talk
you?
about your changes.
Yes,
You've
let's talk
had some,
about your
you've
changes
had a
and what's
couple
going
of
on with
whoppers.
you. Yeah, you
Let's
had a
go through
couple
your
of them.
whoppers.
Yeah, but you will be next.
But now we're talking about you, young lady. Let's talk about the changes in your life since
Yes.
we've gone.
So many changes. Okay,
You've
so
got a ring on your finger, don't you?
ooh, I do.
Oh,
I do.
yeah. You've tied the knot. I was at your wedding. My daughter was in your wedding.
Yes, she was, and I'm so,
Ooh.
And
so
thank you for
grateful.
that. She talks about it from time to time. She enjoyed herself, and I enjoyed myself too.
Oh, she talks about
Aw.
Yeah, because I show her the pictures from time to time, and when you just celebrated an anniversary too as well. So yeah, so when you put the pictures up, yeah, I showed her. Yeah, she was in the pictures, the group pictures and whatnot. So yeah,
Oh my God, that melts my heart. Okay, so just for some of you guys who don't know, yes, first of all, when you watched the last episode where we left off, we were all talking about what's next. That was the end, I believe, of 2022. That's when we said goodbye. I think that
Yeah.
was like December. And at that time, we were talking about what we projected for the following year. We were kind of leaving COVID for good. And I was transitioning to California. So I am in Los Angeles now. I absolutely hate it. I think it's a disgusting place for many reasons. The superficiality is one, but two, the overpopulation. And for me, in the South, I've lived in Texas and Atlanta. Um, Texas, I lived there for about 5 years, in Atlanta, 15 years. Nothing beats the South for me. Absolutely, hands down, the best place to live. Moving back to Cali, I'm originally from the Bay Area. I thought it would be somewhat familiar when I moved here. Absolutely not. I think, for anybody who's planning to come to LA, visit and then go back home. It's not
You visit and then go
what
back.
it's cracked up to be. So yes, I met an amazing 6 foot tall, British, handsome man. And I dodged him for a little while, only because I kind of felt like it was too good to be true. And we went on one date and he stole my heart. And the rest is history. We got married, as Tony announced, last year, November 4th, 2023. And we just celebrated our 1 year anniversary too. So Lashonna and I are celebrating, right, like back to back. And I'm elated. I kind of felt like moving back here would be purposeful because at the time, can you guys hear that dinging?
Mm-hmm.
Let me get rid of them. So sorry. She said, mm-hmm. Let's get rid of that. So just briefly, and I'll wrap it up. I thought moving back would be purposeful because at the time, my grandmother, who I lost this year, unfortunately, she was, of course, here, my son, my mom. And I felt like all my friends, would be able to just kind of, reunite and it would be a win-win. But it didn't turn out that way. It was like estranged relationships because of religion and Los Angeles is much further away from Northern Cal when you're talking about going up there. It's like a 6-hour drive. So it's not exactly that easy. And then just being here, I haven't met my people yet. I haven't really figured out where my people are. I'm just trying to do things organically so I can meet people. But yeah, I'm here in California now. I miss Atlanta on a regular with my
Oh,
I know listen, my sister, I miss you so much. But I do get back to Atlanta at least 4 times a year. I'll be back out there in January and April. So what marriage looks like is very tedious. Like Lashonna said, it's a lot of work. And I was alone for a long time. A lot of you guys know the story with my ex. He had left and gone abroad, and I was alone from like 2018 to 2022, I think. Yeah, no, 2023. So it was some years. And I mean, I loved being single. I loved being alone. I loved having a flexible schedule. I loved it. And then, just Purple Mike, that was we hung out, Lashonna, like
yeah. We did some everything. We did. I think my first meetup with you guys was dinner after dark. That was my first meetup with you guys. Like, yeah. So that was my first like outing with Purple Mike.
And that was so much fun. And I think from there it like enhanced our relationship because we started working out together, just you and myself, and we'd be on the phone every night and just acting a fool, going to dinners, everything. We had a good time. I miss that, you know. So fast forward, we got a puppy as well. I named her Whitney Houston because you guys know
we know. So my question is, in where you are now, do you have a room that's dedicated to Whitney Houston like you had at your house here in the A?
I do not yet, but I anticipate I will. It will be because a lot of my stuff is still in Atlanta in storage. We don't have much space for all of that furniture on top of what we have here. So we are planning to move in the next couple months. And when we do, I'm going to send for all of my things. And I will have my dedicated Whitney Houston room in my new home.
Did you guys hear her? Did y'all hear what she said? A dedicated room to Whitney Houston with a dog named Whitney Houston. I don't think y'all understand how obsessed she is with Whitney Houston. Like, her obsession is like over the top, over the moon, through the galaxies, and back again, and then back through the galaxies again.
Started at 11. It will not end. In fact, Tony's been knowing this for years.
I didn't know that until we went to her. So we had a game night at her house, and that's how I found out that she has an obsession with Whitney Houston.
What happened on game night?
What happened? You had told us that someone had dropped off a package for you, and I was like, "What kind of package?" And you were like, "It was the T-shirt, the Whitney Houston T-shirt, or something like that." And I was like,
"A bunch of Whitney Houston stuff." Yeah.
And you were like, "I'm in love with." I love Whitney Houston. Everything Whitney Houston. I was like, "What?" You said, "Yeah, I have a whole room dedicated to her." What?
Girl, obsessed. So yeah, that's everything in a nutshell. I mean, I have like really no more to report. I think I'm just like Lashonna, just trying to figure out how to go from being single and alone. And you know, some nights, let me tell you, like really briefly to illustrate, some nights I just want to shower, lay down, and I'll make a smoothie and I'll go to bed. Like Tony knows all this already. Like I don't like the formalities all the time. I don't want to sit down for dinners, and I just kind of want a free flow, you know? Or sometimes I just want to get up and I just want to immediately work out. Then I'll go make my smoothie. Then maybe I'll go for a walk, or, you know, it's like every day I go off my vibes and how my body feels. It's not like routined and structured. And now I have to be that way. But the upside and the plus side to that is it does make you a little bit more productive when you're doing things in a routine matter, because you kind of build consistency that way and you don't skip anything if you're used to. You know, your body is like, you know, it craves to do what it wants to do. You know, as women, we want that flexibility, and I kind of miss that a little bit. Yeah. So when you have dogs, you know, it's kind of like having children. It's a lot. And then of course, I have a whole husband who he needs his attention. And I have to carve out time, like quality time. In past relationships, quality time didn't really mean much. But in this relationship, I'm respecting the fact that I have someone who really wants to put in the work with me. So that is where my life is now. And am I happy? I'm absolutely happy. I think geographically, I can't wait to be happy. I can't wait to move. But a huge shout out to Tony and Tony. Tony was my flower girl, Tony's little girl. And she, oh my God, when I tell you, she was a gem to work with. I mean, from the time she walked in, she was super cooperative, and it was like her spirit. She wanted to be there, and she loved being amongst all the girly things, and it really made it special for her. We played her music, and
but what you don't know is she didn't want to do it.
I know, you told me that.
She
You
said
told
that I don't know why I got to do this.
I don't.
Why am
And
I
then in
going
the
to do this?
video, she's
Why
like,
are we
"Am I getting
going?
paid?
Uh-huh.
Someone needs to pay me."
We're on the drive there. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
But
Not asking like
again,
that.
that's forever to do her hair. She has so much hair. Me and Jalon were like, okay, you do that side, I'll do this side. And we had to have our makeup artist come in and do another side because we were like running behind. It's like hair was just growing as we were doing it. But it all came together. We glittered her up. And I mean, she was just gorgeous, gave her bubbles. And it was like the little girl I never had. It was amazing. So it was my dream day. And
There you go.
yeah.
Now you should have fulfilled that dream of wanting having a little girl, because you went through all of that with Tony.
And when you move your ass over here, I'm dropping that little Negro at your house and I'm running.
He gonna be running like Sonic.
Tell her to get ready. They're gonna be an extra for dinner.
Listen, she's more than welcome. I'm gonna spoil her. Oh, I love that little girl. She is.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, Tony, your turn.
Nothing's changed. Thank you. Good night.
That is not true. You moved to Hercules. Well, no, you just moved.
So here's the change. We had 2 family houses up here. One is sold and done. So I had to move somewhere else, and I moved into another family house. I moved into the other family house, and so yeah, moving into this house. It had just finished being built when I moved in, so the last certifications hadn't come in yet. So technically, Tony couldn't come and stay with me. So Tony's been staying with her mother the whole time while we wait for the certifications to come in. Yeah. We just got the certification like a week ago, so Tony will be back with me soon.
And what are the certifications for?
The last inspection for the house. That's all it is.
Okay.
After the house was built.
Okay.
So, everything is cleared. We're ready to go. So I'll be planning on getting Tony back with me real soon. In the meantime, Tony's gone back to school. She's learning how to play the violin now, and now she wants to learn how to play soccer.
Oh wow, that is amazing.
What else now? The young lady I've been speaking with and, part-time dating, something like that, is we've been doing this for now. I look back, we've been talking and messing around for like a little over 2 years. So that's going well. And it's going I'm sorry. You got a little closer to the camera. What's going on here?
Oh, it's just got personal.
And she just threw some hair and they're putting the ear out there so she can hear a little bit more clearly.
And I am, because I'm trying to figure out what was this little tidbit, because
well, I wasn't sure about it, and the thing with her is I fired the first shot because I wasn't sure, and the thing just kind of worked itself out slowly but surely, and it still is. It's working itself out slowly but surely. Let's see what else. I've started 2 other companies aside the phone repair company, and they're doing well too at the same time.
Okay.
The big move that I'm planning is completely out of California, so I probably have another year here before I make a real big move again.
Where to?
The big move is portion of the family is moving to Virginia, so I think I'm gonna go to Virginia with them.
Okay.
But in the short term, I may make a short trip back home to New Orleans and stay there for about a year in the family house because we're trying to get some things squared away with the family house. And we might just rent the whole thing out just to keep it and while the whole family moves to Virginia. Red state, blue state, it doesn't matter. It's about living comfortable. Nothing's going to change for me. It don't matter what administration's in. My life does not change.
On the election, Lashonna, we'll go back over to you.
Get your mask ready.
Get your what?
You said what?
Ready. We getting another disease because of him.
True.
Get your what ready?
Your
mask.
Remember your mask up under the Trump organization. Hey, they let COVID roll on in here.
Man, they just let it roll on in, and it just took over everything.
I know. They want to talk about Obama. There was what three epidemics outside the United States when Obama was there, and we hardly felt it.
It barely touched us. Barely. I will have to say, as far as like the election goes, honestly, as I was watching, like, okay, so first of all, I voted early. And I had
Right.
to, because we had just moved. We moved it at the end of August, and I had not changed our like address on our ID and everything yet. So I was like, we're just gonna vote early. My husband and I looked at everything that was on the ballot that's pertaining to us here in Douglasville, because that's where we are. And the day of the election, it was just so, the atmosphere for me was so heavy for me. It was very, very heavy for me and draining for me. It's the atmosphere. And
Right.
because of my sensitive spirit that I have, I'm just like, it's a lot. It was weighing on me. I knew it wasn't gonna go the way we wanted it to go. So we're watching the election, and I'm literally watching as the numbers come through and roll through. I'm literally crying because for me, my daughter would have less rights than I do now when it comes to her body autonomy. Or like my son, he would have to be more cautious than what he already is going out now,
Yes.
because you just never know. I mean, even just thinking about it now, I'm trying not to cry because
Yeah.
it broke my heart, because it was like, us as African American people, we went out and we voted. We did what we were supposed to do,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it came back where so many Caucasian women and men, even some Blacks, even Latino community, they voted for someone who does not have their best interest at heart, them not understanding what a tariff is, them not understanding what the Board of Education, and I'm an educator.
Right.
So that's even hit me harder, because Board of Education helps with so many children with IEPs, 504, FAFSA, children for children to go to college, for FAFSA. It takes all of those things. And for him to want to come in and dismantle so many things and just shake up so many things, I was just like,
So what
so
exactly did it mean when it said he was getting rid of the Board of Education? What all does that entail?
So he wants to give it back to the state, and which means the state can regulate the money and they can ship the money to where they want it to ship it to, and that they have school of choice. So that means, so say for instance, if you have a poverty-stricken area and they have Title I, guess what? He wants to take the funding from them. You no longer have funding for that. You don't have the money to pay the teachers. You don't have the money to pay anything. It's
Or even
gone.
the programs that they
Or
offer?
even the programs that they
Yeah.
offer for, mainly for like a lot of disability children who
Yeah.
who are neurodivergent. It's just that. So, and then it was like, I don't think in a lot of rural areas, that's where they came out and voted. In the rural areas of every type of state that we have, blue or red, guess what? You don't have that many students in a rural area anyway.
Mhm.
So that means you lose your school, and then that means your children get bused 50 miles away from your town
Mhm.
just to go to school.
Yeah.
Or people going to start homeschooling their children, because especially with children who,
It does diminish the quality and the
Mhm.
socialization, of the development of children.
Yeah,
So yeah.
especially people who, like I said, who are children who are neurodivergent, that means your child can't go to a public school, because guess what? In his mind, he doesn't see your child as a child or a human being. He doesn't even see your child like that. So that means you have to stop working. You have to homeschool your child, which means that's less money that's coming in, because right now everybody needs a two household income. Everybody needs a two household income. It doesn't, every middle class type of people need
Mhm.
a middle class and below needs a two household income, and them not understanding that, oh, when Trump was in office, all of his, we were doing great. Well, yeah, the first 2 years and a half, it was under Obama. His stuff didn't kick in until until later. His stuff
Right.
kicked in later. And then it
Right.
doesn't all of his laws don't expire until 2025. So we still have a whole nother year of his stuff, of the laws that he put in when he was in office. And it's like, and they're thinking like, it's Biden's fault. And it's like, no, y'all didn't take government econ in high school, at elementary, middle school. You didn't take any of those things. You took none of those things. So, it was just
Are there
very
any
disheartening.
upsides for you?
Upsides?
Yeah.
My children aren't in elementary, middle school, high school. That's the upside. I raise my children, if you have to go out and work, you go to work. You do what you got to do. You save money, you invest. I taught them all those things. So that's what we've been doing, showing them how to do those things. It's made us where we went ahead and bought our house, and we're making a spot where we're going to start gardening and growing our own food, because you just never know what may happen at any time. So
Jamal will love that. You guys know
yeah,
Jamal absolutely
so
love that. Yeah.
so like that's the upside, and I hate to say that, but it's like my children aren't in school, so it's not like I can't care, but I do care because I'm an educator, but I work at a private school. So it's different, because parents pay their money for their children to come to school at the place that I work at. So I'm not deeply affected by certain things, but I am affected by certain things. So
I think I really empathize with you when you talk about your son. I too have a African American son, of course, and thinking back on the last year of Trump's term, I was living in Atlanta, and they literally took 285, like all of his Proud Boys, and they were making a scene out there on the highways. I mean, even just me driving for my solo trips to Florida, I remember, there was a time I got pulled over, and even as a Black woman, I was like, am I even safe to like reach over and grab my purse? I remember the fear I had. I was like literally trembling because we were in a time where anything could happen. There was like looting and there was even a moment where they tore up downtown. It was like a small riot. It was a scary time. And to be in 2022 and actually feel like you're living in the 1950s again, where we're divided as a nation, it was very scary. It was scary. And just seeing the ignorance of people and how they felt like, because we have a leader behaving this way, this is exemplary, this is the model, this is the prototype, and we can truly be who we want to be. I think another scary thing was even the KKK rally in Tennessee some months ago. That was I mean, I just feel like it's so backwards, just the mentality, the day and age. What I will say is the gender, and I don't want to upset anyone watching this show who totally supports TPM, but I think the gender politics being removed is, for minors, I think that's a beautiful thing, only because if you make a decision, almost like a tattoo, okay? A lot of people get tattoos when they're young, and then it's like later you regret them and you go have them lasered and removed. But if you remove your reproductive organs, or you even so much as make a decision that's, premature, and you turn around and you regret that decision, I think it's very important that we save our youth. They're not always in their informative years. They're not necessarily in their right minds to make decisions about, their bodies. And even instructors, educators, I feel like they are an extension of parents, and it's important for them to have a level of responsibility as well. So when I saw that in the news this morning, in fact, I was a little elated about that. In terms of reproductive rights, this is a sensitive topic, but because of religion, I am anti-abortion. I've always felt like it's murder. But when it comes to the health of a woman, like, my husband and I discuss it all the time, ectopic pregnancies, anything like that, I do think that it's, medically necessary to save the mother's life, and everyone should have, choice. But, it is a movement, and I kind of feel like the Biden-Harris administration was a little loose. Like it was like everyone was a fairy and everyone just wanted to be who they are. Today I'm a pretzel, tomorrow I'm going to be a frog, you know. It's like I identify by they, and I'm like, okay, this is really getting out of control. I just, you know, I've always said on this show I'm traditional, and I just want to kind of get back to the basis in the origin of what life was intended to be.
I think honestly, like when it comes to that particular community, they've always been here and they've always done that. Where I'm this, I'm that, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But also when it comes to, you know, pro-choice, pro-life, I feel like, you know, yes, it's a woman's body, but at the same time, it's like, but they want it to where it doesn't matter about the woman's body. They want to take out IVF. You went through IVF. So they want to take that away because they said it's not natural, you know, but they want people to have babies.
Right.
But if I can't have babies and I want to have a baby, but I have to go through IVF, you're going to take that away from me?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then my biggest question is always to, you know, everyone is like, okay, that's fine if you are pro-life. Mm-hmm. So if you're pro-life, are you going to be there to support the baby, regardless of the fact if the father is not there? Are you going to be there to support the baby? Are you going to be there to feed it, help it grow, give it, you know, nurture it, everything? Because if you want a mother who's in a low poverty stricken area, and it doesn't matter, it can go across any type of demographic, and you want them to raise that child in that type of thing, but she has a choice, like, okay, you know what? No. Mm-hmm. But the thing of it is, that gets me is that you want to restrict a woman's body, but you don't want to restrict the man's body who can have like 100 babies in 1 year. But a woman can only get pregnant 3 times once a year.
Do you feel like adoption should be the next step?
I think if you want to adopt, yes, you should adopt if you want to.
No, I'm saying that child should have an opportunity, and that adoption would be the next case scenario, so that child can.
Yeah, I mean, but it's up to, it's given. That point is given to, like, you know, you don't have to do this. You can carry full term, and we can start your adoption papers. We can find someone that can, you know, adopt your child for you. You know, so that can happen. So yes, I think adoption, if you don't want the child and you want to put the child up for adoption, was that a good thing? Yes, I think it is. It's a beautiful, wonderful thing. My thing about it is that I don't see why. We have more celebrities that are adopting children outside of the country than we do inside the country, which is crazy to me, because we have it just like, you know, we have adoption for children who needs help, like any other place. But no, they decide to go adopt children outside of the country, and it's like, really? But you don't want to help the ones that are here in the country that you live in? Like, to me, that's the big thing, and it's crazy.
First, I want to make sure you guys understand that I identify as transracial. I am identify as a well-hung white man, billionaire, which also makes me trans financial. Just want to make sure you guys understand that.
Why?
Because, you know, you talk about it, so let me throw it out there. If they can be whatever they want, I want to be whatever I want.
I mean, you know,
and I don't want to upset anybody when I said that. I just want to make that disclaimer.
I don't think you upset any.
It doesn't matter to me. Just like Lashonna said, they've always been here. They gave people a big issue back in the 90s, but they've always been. So what's the issue? They live just like us. They got blood. If you slap them, they hurt. If you cut them, they bleed. They just like us. Ain't nothing different.
Yeah, I mean, they're just like us. It's nothing new. I just think that my thing is, my biggest take is this, and my husband and I always talk about it, is that a young girl or a young boy who decides to enter into premarital sex and have sex, they would charge the older person who they had sex with, you know, with statutory rape, because they said they don't have the mental capacity to say yes or to consent to sex at a certain age. Mm-hmm. But they have the mental capacity to say, yes, I don't want to be like such and such, or I don't want to be like this. To me, that doesn't make any sense. They need to wait until they're older before they decide to do anything. Right. But again, this is this type of generation where I want it now. This is what I want. This is how I feel. And like I said, they've always been here. It's nothing new under the sun. They've always been here. They will always be here. Where they want to be a pretzel today, a dog tomorrow, a cat today, whatever they choose to be, like that's what it's going to be. And my biggest thing is like, and they don't bother me, and I'm not a homophobic person at all.
No.
My thing is like,
I'm not either. I have
yeah,
beautiful friends
yeah,
in this.
because I have, but my thing is, but don't try and push your agenda on me, and don't try and make me force feed me that. Now, if I call you a she and you dress like a she, I'll call you. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. But I'm not. What I'm not about to do is say you call me homophobic because I don't agree. I can still love you and not agree with your lifestyle.
That's
I can
it.
love you and not
That's
agree
it.
with your
Yeah.
and not
I am
agree with
so,
your
and I've
lifestyle.
always said on this show, I'm highly traditional. A lot of values stem from my upbringing in Christianity. My grandmother and my mother and my aunts are faithful when it comes to the Bible. And although my belief system and the way that I walk in life today is a little different from the way I was raised per our family's religion, I will say a lot of those values are still in place. So, like what Lashonna said, I may not agree, but I'm not going to disrespect you, and I'm not going to discriminate against you. But you can't expect everyone to align with you. But Tony's a billionaire. He's would you say a trans?
I am transracial and transfinancial.
Oh,
Is that your
I'll take the
pronoun or
trans
is
financial.
that part?
I'll take the trans financial, like
I'll
that
take
part.
that. I'll take that too.
Yeah.
I'll take the money part. But Tony, okay, so what did you think about the election? How did you feel about it, like from a male's perspective?
I said it before and I'll say it again. I don't care about the election. Whoever the president is does not change what I do and how I move. It does not change whatsoever. Unless they take the money out of my pocket, which they are not, I don't give a damn. But what's the old saying? One monkey don't stop no show. That's how it works with me.
So when you think about the next 4 years in your baby girl, what does that play a role at all in how it could shape her reality or no?
Excuse my language, what I'm getting ready to say, but this administration coming back in, it is going to be a unequivocal shit show. It's already shaping up to be that way.
Yeah,
that
it really
being
is.
said, I'm not. I can give a flying fuck about the law. My daughter's body is her body. As her dad, present moment, yeah, she can't do certain things with her body that I and her mother don't approve of. But as far as her reproductive, when she gets older, if those laws are still in place, they're gonna have to go through me. If something happens and she doesn't want that child and that's her choice, I'm taking her wherever she got to go so she can get rid of that child because that's her choice, not mine.
Mm.
I've already dealt with that once in my life.
And then you'll get rid of the father.
Well, that happens ahead of time, So
I'm about to say he's already gone. He's already gone.
He's already gone.
Yeah,
We handled him already.
Let's just say he'll be in the bayou somewhere,
The bayou.
Yeah,
not the bayou, not the bayou. Oh my goodness, Lord Jesus.
And we're gonna leave it at that. He's in the bayou somewhere.
I love it. We're going to do just a little bit of housekeeping. Again, you guys are watching the Purple Mic. And if you have not already, head over to our IG with Facebook.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We're gonna have everything this year. There's gonna be a website fully built and everything. We're gonna be doing it all. Everything. And I think we were really underserving our audience before. Tony has so many great plans for the Purple Mic for 2025. So if you haven't already, IG, Facebook, we are over there at the Purple Mic. We have our Cash App, the Purple Mic, and Twitter, _purple_mic. And our panelists, you guys are probably wondering if it's just us. We have Kathy returning, Dion returning, and of course, Chef Jamal, if we can find him half the time. If he's not in his car, he's in a kitchen. If he's not in the kitchen, he's somewhere.
He won't be
on the show.
He won't be hell.
Goddamn.
When he pops up, man, it's a good day.
It's a
It's a good
good
day. When he pops up, it is a good day. Somebody did ate on time. Kids done got baths on time. It is a
Hilarious.
good day. I'm telling you, he done dropped off food to family, restaurants, he got their food. I'm telling you, he done did a catering job. Man. I'm telling you, it's gonna be
Sometimes
a
when
good
I
day.
see him, I'm like, what did we do to deserve this? Like,
When he pops up, you be like, oh Lord, here
that's
we
it.
go.
But we do want to thank our past castmates. We've had, I mean, for a lot of you guys who've been rocking with us in season 1, we've had some amazing panelists on the show. So shout out to them and their involvement, participation on the show. We appreciate them so much and what they brought to the team. But you are looking at your original castmates. These 2 rock stars are amazing, amazing, amazing. I can't tell you how many shows Lashonna has co-produced. Lashonna is like top tier, the number 1 producer when it comes to aligning questions and topics. I mean, the girl is on it. And Tony from just, oh my God,
Look at them. Just look at Tony.
layers. The layers of where we can go with this show and not giving up. He has urged me and pushed me to continue when I said, you know what? Maybe we should just let it breathe. And no, he says we are going to make this amazing. So we are back. It's such an honor to work with both of you, and I'm so excited for season 4 to complete and to begin season 5 with you guys. So, anything else you guys want to mention while we are welcoming back TPM tonight? Lashonna, that hair is on fleek, girl. No, we don't say that no more, but
they don't.
that's so dated. I'm telling my age. What are you guys doing for the holidays?
No.
I'm coming to your house and eat.
Then in that case, we need to get Jamal out here.
She ain't, look at this. Sound like she ain't cooking. That's exactly what she said.
We have friends who really have, like, oh my God, they have the best cooking skill set. So we're going over there.
So I do have a question, and this you can edit this part out, okay?
Oh.
So does the food have seasoning over there with you?
Oh,
because
you know what?
Oh, that is racially charged.
No, it's not.
I'm sorry, racially seasoned.
Because her and I have been on the phone together, and she be like, Lashonna, do you? And sometimes she can't even get it out because she's trying to figure out, like,
I'm gonna lose my whole last name tonight.
I said you can edit it out. I said that you can edit it out.
Honestly, like, I will be so real. Like, the Brits, like, even it's well known, like, the food over there is not that great. Like, it's not flavorful.
They eat like they still in World War II.
And I did struggle in the beginning with just, and even sometimes Chris will tell me, like, it's way too much flavor, way too much.
I was like, how you got too much flavor?
Right.
That question too. So how much flavor are you have to cut back in your food now that you
are quite a bit. And so salt and pepper is definitely a condiment that is, like, it wasn't well needed before, but it is definitely needed on the dinner table. Yeah.
When you first, like, was going, like, traveling back and forth, and you were just like, Lashonna, this I would be like, well, what's wrong?
Yeah, it's like
because when you would come back, because when you would come back, you would be like gorging food. Like, you would be like,
oh yeah, they're down. And even our 40th, I mean, plate after plate after plate. Yes.
Like, she was just like, she was like, I'm eating. It's just like, I'll work it out later.
so much better. Even in California in general, the food is not good. Like if you compare Florida and California, like the food in Florida is way better. It's flavorful, it's fresh. I mean, it
Yeah.
is going to be fried, but I don't know, for some reason here, this is like a green state. Everyone wants everything like so lean and like no oils and no butters. And I don't know, the seafood's not all that fresh. And I've been to a lot of great restaurants, but I'm not wowed like I am in the South.
Yeah.
And I'm
Because when
not
she
being
came
biased.
here
It's
for her
just
birthday,
personally like how I feel.
yeah, because
But
when
yeah,
she came here for her birthday, she had that what did you have? The red snapper?
oh God, tore that snapper.
That snapper did not have a life. Even though the waiter the waitress that came over like cut it up, deboned it, everything for her. And I was like, and it was a whole red snapper. Now I don't have anything that can show how big this red snapper was, but it was huge.
Okay.
It was huge. It
Because
was like
my husband was looking at me. He was like, "Is she gonna eat all of that?" I said, "Yeah." And he
all
was
you
like,
guys, it was $100.
and he was like,
Oh, you better get your money's worth.
and so my husband was like, "Are you sure?" And he was like, "She doesn't like she can eat." I said, "Oh, she can eat." I said,
Yes.
"She's gonna eat the whole thing." And I was like, "Baby, that snapper was $100." And so when I said it, I think Christian heard me. He was like, $100.
$100.
I was like, "What?" I was like,
$100. And he was like, yeah, you better eat you better eat the
"Right."
bones too.
He was like, "You better eat every bit of it." I mean, and she ate every bit
I
of it,
tore that fish
and then was
up.
looking like, "Where is my free dessert?" Because y'all said,
Right. Because y'all
Hilarious.
said, girl, I listen, when it comes to food, Jamal, I wish Jamal was here now. Listen.
"Well, that's what I just had to ask you that." I really did because
Season
I
5 is going to
haven't.
be lit. I'm going to expose so many truths, but that is one. It's like, yes, our flavors definitely differ
Yeah,
culturally.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And they don't like
yeah.
spice all that much.
Right, I know.
Mm-mm.
It's like, what is up?
They
What
don't like
is
spice.
up?
I don't know what it's about. It's like, it's a little spicy, but I mean, in their defense, I mean, it's like
Nah,
the
nah.
fish and chips is good.
She's like, no, no.
Nah.
The fish and
Don't
chips is
even
great.
you because it took you too
I
long to try that for you to try and fix it. And there was no fixing it. Because you said the fish and chips, yeah, fish and fries. Okay. Let me
that
just
part.
for y'all that don't know,
I
fish
don't
and
like
chips
that
is
word
fish and
chip.
fries. Okay?
Fish
It's
fry.
just French fries. That's
Right.
it. It ain't no chips. Well, we got our chips. Fried potatoes.
Right. Yeah. And you know what? I might even like do a small segment, like a day in the life, what life is like. Because a lot of women want to know. Listen, honestly, I've been asked a lot of questions since I entered this relationship. I've been asked questions regarding age gap. For those of you who follow me or you've seen or my husband and I are 22 years apart.
Oh,
And
damn.
yeah. And I think a lot of women right now are asking me, what's it like to be with a white man, but also someone from the UK. What's the age gap like? How did you guys find compatibility? Although he's a baby boomer and you're a millennial, what is it like traveling and like all these things? Everything's so different entertainment wise. Like you might like a certain kind of music or movies, and he's So yeah, I'll talk about that a little bit more. I think I might do an episode on that.
Oh, I'm gonna be watching that. That is gonna be hilarious.
It's a lot of comedy. It's
what
a
do you
lot
say?
of comedy, believe it. It's a lot of we laugh and he's funny, and I think when you meet your person, quite like what we discussed earlier, no matter who you are, when you meet your person and
I'll be right back, you guys.
and you feel whole and you feel like, what, this is absolutely what I need as opposed to what I want, because relationships should be about your needs as well. I think it can be very beneficial. And this time around, I chose wisely, not based on wants or being pressured religious wise.
I told you.
Yeah,
Told
yeah, you did. And you
you.
also said,
Glad you
find
listened.
you a man who loves your thighs, girl.
Damn right.
Because them
Damn right.
thighs need love.
Damn right.
Yeah, so I followed all of your advice and it came forward. But anyway, that is our episode. I want to thank each and every single one of you guys for tuning in. We are excited to be back, as I said earlier, but we will have more panelists on our show. We will announce next week when we will be running episodes. We've got so many topics that we're bringing forward, and I believe we only have 5 more episodes until we enter season 5, which is going to be really exciting. Tony's working on our website. I'm excited about that. So you guys can go over there and see a host of things, whether it be past episodes, new panelists, and what's happening, that sort of thing. So if you haven't already, please follow us. We're so happy to have you guys back. Tell your friends, tell your family. And we will be recording every Wednesday. So again, next week we'll let you guys know when we will be officially dropping all of our episodes, so you can watch us on it weekly. But until then, we thank you for watching tonight. Follow us, and we will see you guys on the next episode. Bye.
See you.